Good afternoon, students and parents. Hope you're doing well. This is continuing multiplication comparisons. Now we're going to be comparing three things: the short math statements, equations, and that ribbon and tape model. There is a word problem at the bottom that's, again, we're going to use our three-column T-charts. There's a lot of threes in fourth grade, if you haven't noticed. And it's relatively self-explanatory. This is practice. So read things carefully and try and get the correct answers through all three of these areas. Good luck. Here's our worksheet for math, for multiplication comparisons. And we're getting more abstract. We're using words and equations and models, and they all have to agree with each other. But we aren't looking at anything. That's all we're using. And these models don't actually represent the size of anything. The equation is probably the easiest part because you already know what equations look like. And the short math statements are something new to us. So this is beginning to be a little bit more abstract, and we've been getting more and more abstract with our math as time has progressed. And we're halfway through the year, so now's the time to look at multiplication comparisons. This is kind of like our three-column T-chart. We have statements, equation, and models, and all three of these have to agree. And there's blanks and areas that you have to fill in. So there's a blank here, there's two blank spaces here, and there's 6 problems altogether. This model is called a ribbon model or a tape model. And they use it interchangeably. Sometimes they call it a bar model. So just kind of be prepared to see this if you're asked on a test, that it can be called a ribbon, a tape, a bar, and this is kind of what they're asking for. This one has 2 blanks and a blank for the equation here. So let me take number 2 as our sample. Okay. And let me solve this for short math statements, equations, and models. If you have your skip counting, you could skip count by 4s out to 6, and you would find your product's going to be 24. Now, to make a model over here, a ribbon model, they all look the same. Okay, this represents something. We don't know what, but we're just using numbers at this case, at this time. We need a number of boxes to put some numbers in, and that's this part of the equation, the times part. So remember Mr. Buddinger's 3-number principle? So here's our 3 numbers, 1, 2, 3. Somehow those 3 numbers have to show up over here in the correct location. So our multiplication is going to go up on the top. We're going to divide this box into 4 equal boxes. Now the best way to do that is to divide it in the middle, or roughly in the middle, and divide those 2 ends as well in half, and that's good enough. This was generated by the computer, so it's perfect, but when we write these in here, don't worry too much. Maybe this one could come over a little bit, if you really want to get it exactly, but that's not important. Now we have 4 times 6, 4 times as many as 6 is equal to 24. So where would the 6 and the 24 go in this example? Well, 24 is the largest amount of these numbers. The product is always going to be the largest amount, and that's the total amount that's in this ribbon diagram. So 24 is going to go here somewhere. And this is how we show this number means the total amount in the whole ribbon diagram. Where would the 6 go? Well, we have 6 how many times? 4 times. So that's 1 6, 2 6, 3 6, 4 6, and that's 6 times. Now over here is another difficult part, but we're just going to follow the order that the equation is written out. So the first part of the equation is this part right here. This is 4 times. Now the part that's new, that's a little bit difficult to get used to, is we used to say 4 times 6, but we're adding some more words to that. We're going to say 4 times as many as 6. So this is the hard part right here. 4 times as many as 6 is, this is our equal sign, so our equal sign is, that's going to give us our product, is 24. So what this is saying is that if we take 6 as one amount, 4 times as many as that, 1, 2, 3, 4, is going to be 24. So that's where our multiplication comparison comes in, this part, comparison. We're comparing 1 6 to 4 6s. And we're saying, what is that amount? That amount happens to be 24. So, again, this is a little abstract, but you can see the pattern here. You can see how this agrees with this, and that agrees with this. All three of these agree with each other. So that's what you're going to do when filling in this part. I'm going to go down and look at the word problem. You might want to pause the video and fill this in first, and then restart the video to start on our 3-column T-chart for the word problem. So go ahead and pause the video if you'd like to finish your table here. And then when you get finished with that, let's start on the word problem. So for the word problem, let's just do the parts we know. We know we're going to need a 3-column T-chart. So here's my 3 columns. Over here, we're going to have what's known. This is what we look for in the word problem itself. Everything that tells us we're going to put here. We have our model. And we're going to be using ribbon diagrams for our model. We could put that in there if we wanted to, because we know they all look the same. And then over here, we're going to have our equation. Now, if you've been following closely, you might remember Mr. Buddinger's 3-number principles. So nearly every single problem you're going to deal with is going to have 3 numbers. In elementary school for sure, and a little bit in middle school, then around high school they'll have maybe 2 unknowns. Over here, we have our numbers. And again, we know it's going to be 3 numbers. We have our units. That's how word problems differ from just the equations here. Up here, we had no units. We're just working with numbers and operations and models and such. But in our word problem, we're going to have some units that they're going to give us. And then we have our operation. And sometimes there's more than one, but in this case, the only operation I've seen, it's not like an area and perimeter model. The only operation I've seen is multiplication. So without really filling too much in or even reading the word problem, this is quite a lot of information that you already understand. You're ready to tackle the word problem now. So let's go ahead and read the first part, and then we'll get down here to writing our statement. Well, let's look for where our question is. How many oranges does he use for his whole family? So here's, let's just put a little small a over there. So A, we'll write our statement down here. We'll change this question into a sentence, and we'll do that a little bit later on. But let's go ahead and just look at what we can fill in here for now. It takes Cody 6 oranges. Stop! There's a number. Okay, so we're going to put 6 in there. To make a small glass of orange juice, he uses 8 times as many. 8. Now, I'm going to attach this times to that. We've kind of gotten used to that over here. I'm going to add that multiplication symbol right here. So remember, this is the order in which my equation is going to look like. he uses 8 times as many for his family. Now here's my statement, my question, so I have to turn to a statement. How many oranges does he use for his whole family to have a small glass of orange juice? Okay. So just what we've completed up here, what you guys have done up here, how would this kind of look? We got 2 numbers, and our third number, 3-number principle, we're looking for this number. We got 2, and they gave us 2 numbers, we're looking for 1. Sometimes they'll give us 1 number, and we're looking for 2. How would our model look, just in abstract terms? Where would this 8 times be in our model? If you said up here, you'd be correct. So now we have to divide this ribbon into 8 parts. So let me show you how to do that. Let's divide it in the middle. So we have 2 equal parts here. Let's divide this half, okay, again, and this half again. And then let's divide these 4 halves again. And you're going to come out with 8 boxes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Now we know also there's going to be a number down here. So we can go ahead and fill in that part. Okay, there's going to be some number down there. So we have 1 of our 3 numbers. The 6, where do you think the 6 would go? If you're unsure, let's go ahead and do our equation over here. What number of these would come first? Something times. And we can look over here and we can say, oh, the 8 goes here, because the 8 and the times go together. Where would this 6 go? He's multiplying 6 8 times, so that would go here. You might want to fill in your 6 down here now. And here is the part that we're missing, that third number that we're looking for. So I'm going to leave this right here for you to fill in the rest. Let's go ahead and look at our statement. How many oranges does he use for his whole family? Cody uses blank oranges for his whole family. Okay. So what would be our units here? Our units we're always going to find in the part that has the question. It's not glasses of orange juice, because they didn't say how many glasses of orange juice. They said how many oranges. So our units is going to be oranges. Now, this is quite a bit that we filled out for our 3-column T-chart and our statement without actually solving and coming up with the answers. This is worth points if you can just get this far. This is like 3 out of 6 points. If you come up with the answer in this like this, it's probably going to be 6 out of 6. We do need the correct answer to give you a passing grade, but you can see how when you arrange it this way, and how similar it is to this, you can start coming up with some pretty difficult word problems that you can solve on your own. So finish this up. Good luck. Do the best you can. If you get a little tired, just set it aside. Maybe do a few and save the word problem for the end. If you're having problems with your multiplication, then go ahead and make up a 4-minute skip counting sheet first and have that as an aid to help you find the products for your 2 factors. Just give it a shot, work hard, hang in there. You're doing difficult stuff. I'm proud of you.